Hi everyone, just a quick update. I've been asked to by a few people to put some old walks from Scotland. I've done quite a lot of walking with my brother up in Scotland, and so I'm going to release two videos this week. So bear in mind they're not 4K. One is HD and one is even older format. I made them for myself to look back on in years to come over a beer, not really to share them with anyone else. So they're not very well produced. I move around a lot, etc. But you will get a feel for the walk. As you know, I'm not the best at doing videos. So first one is Highland Diaries one, Winter's Tale, which is basically a walk back in March 2018 in the Western Highlands, Spleden Milach and Glwrig, two beautiful mountains off Loch Coich. And that was a real good winter's walk, and you will see from the videos, unfortunately it's about 30 odd minutes long. There's some photos in it, some lot of loud music, but it's a real good view of what Scotland is like in the winter and winter walking. Some exceptional peaks, and really standing on the summit of Spleden Milach at the end with a spindrift hitting my face. Sometimes when I'm fed up, I take myself mentally back to that a happy place. It was really, truly magnificent. Really good winter views of the Scottish peaks. It's worth watching or skipping through, but you will get a good feel for it. The second video was taken back even further, 2008 in April, March again, when we did the Noidat. We walked in from not far from Spleden Milach and Glwrig, where that first video was taken. We went down to Kinlochhorn, so quite a long road to get there, but magnificent country. You walk in then to Barrisdale Bay, where there is a bothy and a toilet that you can use, but we camped. There was in the early days of camping, I took so much stuff. I might as well, someone should have paid me for disposing of a body, because my rucksack was that heavy. It was unbelievable. I've learned, and you learn the hard ways, I think, in walking. And I'm a lot lighter now, the gear, but I took everything. Everything other than the kitchen sink. But we had a tremendous experience. Brilliant weather. Again, we climbed in that video. That only lasts about 15 minutes. It's worth watching. Again, we climbed Laverne, which is the most westerly Munro in Scotland. Amazing on the ridge there with a spindrift coming off. Trying to locate the summit on a narrow ridge, which we did. And we stayed a few days there in Barrisdale. We did the other Munro there, Louis Venn. That was amazing. Summit ridge there, brilliant. And then the walkout is on the video. Beautiful. That Loch Horn is absolutely amazing. So the Noidat's got Loch Horn and Loch Nevis, Loch of Hell and Loch of Heaven either side, and it's an amazing walk. And I put some really close-ups of Laverne covered in snow. I zoomed up to it, and really beautiful walk along the loch there. Quite difficult. There's over 1,000 foot of ascent of ups and downs. Later on that trip, we ended up doing a few walks. We were up the Craig Maggie, Beach and Nambian in Glencoe. Amazing days. And we ended up on the Tarmachan Ridge, which is near Ben Laws, near Loch Tay in the Southern Highlands. Again, every day was a fantastic weather. Unfortunately, my brother slid on ice and went. It's actually a well-known danger spot on Tarmachan Ridge, and fell and really smashed his ankle. I had to get the helicopter out. He'd do anything to get out of paying for the next round. And back in the days of the Sea King, the yellow helicopter came, knew exactly where we were. They came pretty quickly. They lowered the guy down. He was really professional. Towed John up. They didn't have enough room on the helicopter because they had a Channel 5 programme which was John was on, and were in the original series of Highland Emergencies. So that's back in something like 2009, 2010 on Channel 5. So John was on the rescue. They didn't have enough room because of the cameramen for me to tow me up, so I had to walk back. But I had to hold he dropped the flare. It didn't seem windy to us, but the helicopter had trouble, and to stop John being spun around, he asked me to hold a rope, and then he would release it, and then there was a policeman waiting for me back at the car park, and I hand the rope over. So it was like as if the Sea King was like a kite flying it on the beach, and I was holding it up, and it was trying to stop John from being spun around. So yeah, he ended up being on Channel 5. They took him to the hospital in Fort William and sorted him out, and I went up all the way up there and then back home on my own drive-in because he spent a few days and he flew home. So it was all a success. But that trip was really amazing. Unfortunately, that didn't. The ending wasn't very good for John, but he recovered very quickly and got back to it. So I hope you enjoyed those two releases. I'll release them this week. Bear in mind the production value, but hopefully some of you will see some of Scotland. Amazing place to visit, and they were great trips. And if I get some good feedback, then I'll release some more. But they weren't made for sharing. I'm sorry about that. So stay safe out there and look after each other. Be kind to everyone, and I'll see you soon on the ice soon. Adios, amigos.